Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at MH Tutorials, and today we're going to model a rocking chair. Now that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Never made one before, but we'll see how it works out. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to load a reference image, and we're not going to follow it exactly, but just so I have a reference, so I know how this chair is structured. So I'm going to go to my foreview, going to switch to my front view here. Click on View, Image Plane, Import Image. And let me see, I have a folder here somewhere called, where is it? Oh, there we go, rocking chair. Yeah, I got this image, okay? Now, I'm going to drag select that, scale it out, hit W, push it back, and push it up a little bit. So I got something to look at, okay? Now, what I want to start off with is these verticals here, okay? They're pretty ornate, as you can see, got some decorations on it, so we're gonna just create something that we feel okay with, okay? And again, we're not gonna follow this exactly. So I'm gonna take a polygon cylinder, I'm gonna drag that out in the grid, pull that up, and I'm going to keep it fairly large. I'm going to scale it down when I'm done so I can see it better. Hit 5 for shaded mode, and we're going to go into our attribute editor. We're going to change the subdivision to 40 to make it nice and round, and I want some divisions in height, actually quite a few, so let's go with maybe a bit more, 30. Okay. Okay, so now let's get some shape into this. I'm going to start off by beveling the top edge. So right click, go to edge, double click on that, edit mesh and bevel. And we're going to round that a bit. So in the attribute editor, we're going to increase the segments to maybe a bit more, 8. And let's see, we're going to do the offset at 0.4, like that. I'm going to right click here, select face. I'm going to select this row of faces here. We're going to hit R to scale that in. Something like that. Then we're going to right click here, go to edge, double click on that one, hit W and push that up. Something like so. We're going to push that one up. Going to push that one up. Okay, what are we going to do here? What we're going to do is we're going to move that one up as well. Something like that. We're going to right click, go to face. We're going to, I'll just switch my views here and hit 5 for shaded mode. We're going to drag select this row of faces and we're going to hit R and we're going to scale it in as well, something like that. We're going to right click, go to edge, double click on that one, hit W and pull it up until it's roughly in the middle, something like that. Then while we have that selected, we're going to go to edit mesh and hit bevel. Yeah, not too bad. And I'm going to throw in 1 or 2 edges here. So edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, 1 there and 1 there. Hit Q, right click, go to face mode, select that row of faces in the middle. What we're going to do is hit R and we're going to scale that out. Okay, so for the top part, that's not too bad. Okay, now what else do we got? Okay, I'm going to bevel this edge. So right click, edge, double click on that, edit mesh and bevel. Okay, like that. We are going to right click here, go to face, drag select that, hit R, scale that in. Yeah, it's good. And then we're going to move down like that. Right click, edge. Actually, I'm going to select these 3 edges. No, just these edges. Okay, and we're going to hit R, scale that out. Something like that. Oh, what's going on? Sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna double click on that one. We're gonna pull that in a bit. Something like that. Yeah. We're going to go to edge, drag select the edge in the middle, just the one in the middle, that one. We're gonna pull that in. Yeah, pretty neat. Okay, now we're gonna take a stretch down, right click, face. We're gonna select that, pull that in entirely. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, not too bad. We're going to do some more detailing here. Right click, edge, double click on that one, and shift double click on that one. We're going to pull that in again. And for the bottom part, we need to make that a bit pointy, so to speak. So for that, we are going to right click, go to vertex, drag select these 3, pull that in, drag select these, pull that in, drag select these, pull that in, drag select that one, pull that in. Maybe this one a bit more. Something like that. Okay. Now, it's a bit thick and not long enough, so I'm going to right click, go to object mode, select it, hit R, stretch that out a bit. Something like so. I want to bevel these edges here. So double click on that one, shift double click, shift double click. Yep. Edit mesh and bevel. That looks a bit better. Okay. Right click, go to object mode. Now I'm going to try something. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. So I got my object selected, shift right click and smooth. And let's see what we got. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. That's still a little bit thick, so I'm going to select it, hit R, and I'm just going to scale it in a bit and stretch it up a bit. Okay, that looks about right. Okay, now we're going to copy that. So hit Control D, hit W, and move that over. And let's check it from our front view, whether that is a realistic size or not. Yeah, it's not too bad. Maybe something like that. Okay. So now we're going to put in a couple of segments in the middle here. So for that, we're going to go back to our perspective view. I'll just move these guys out of the way. And we're going to select a cube, and we're going to drag that out in a grid, pull that up, something like that. We're going to bevel the edges, so pull that up, right click, go to edge, select these edges here, edit mesh and bevel. And we're going to smooth that a bit. So increase that, maybe something like that. Okay, not too bad. Okay, and now we need to fit that in here and one down here. Okay, so right click, object mode. We're going to switch views, hit W. We're going to move that over. Actually, what I'm going to do with these two is I'm going to set the translate values to 0, at least for that one, and that one. And now I'll take one of them and move that out. So I can take that and at least I got one reference. Okay, so we're going to hit F to zoom in. Now I want this obviously to fit inside these two, so I'm going to hit R and I'm going to scale that back in. So now it's inside the chair. It's a bit too thick, so I'm going to push it back a little. Something like that. And now from our height point of view, we need to see where we need to position it. So still a bit thick. Push it back a bit more. Okay. So we're going to select that, hit W. Now we're going to move that one up, but as you can see, we got one up here as well. So we got that. And let me see, this is pretty straight, right? Now normally that would be a bit curved, so we'll do that first. Or maybe not. I'm just looking. It doesn't look curved. No, it's actually pretty straight. Okay, we'll leave it there. And we're going to copy that, Control D, and we're going to move one down, let's see, to where the arms are. That should be a bit higher, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So now we're going to take the top bit there, and for that, what we can do is, okay, what I'll do, I'll just make a new one. Again, polygon cube, like that, pull it up, and I'm going to go to my polycube. I want some subdivisions. Maybe, yeah, 14 is good. Maybe a bit more. 20, yeah, okay. Okay, so we need to create a little shape in the top here. As you can see, this is not very ornate, but you know, we'll figure out something. So I'm going to go to my front view here, hit F to zoom in, right click, go to vertex, like that. And now we're going to, actually I need to know exactly what the middle is. So right click object mode, I'm going to select that. I'm going to set my translate values to 0. So it's easier for me to see what the exact middle is, okay? So right click, vertex. I want 1, 2, 3, 4 from the edge. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The center one and 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks about right. Yep. And then maybe these 3. Something like that. I'll take these, drag select. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and shift select 1, 2, 3, 4, and push that down. I'm going to take these 2 and these 2. I'm going to push that down. I'm going to drag select these 2 rows down here. I'm going to pull that up. Something like that. Just going to hit F to zoom in and get that. Oh. Object mode. Get that out of here. Okay. We're going to bevel the top. So edge, double click the top row, shift, double click that top row, the bottom row, and the bottom row. edit mesh and bevel, and we need to soften that a bit, so we're going to make that nice and big and round that out a bit. Okay, now again I'm going to see if it looks good to smooth this, so object select, shift right click and smooth. Yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, you can see it's messing up my quads a bit, so I'm not going to do that. So Control Z, because this doesn't look too bad anyway. Now what I want to try is give a little bit of curvature to this one, because I think that looks nice. So we're going to go up to animation. We're going to go to create deformers, nonlinear and bend. Now, as you can see, our bend handle is vertical, and we need to have it horizontal. So I'm going to not select that, hit E to rotate it, and we want it at -90, like that. Let's see if our bend handle will allow us. As you can see, the curvature still needs to go in a different angle. So I need to rotate it again, like this. Actually, what I can do is I can curve it a little bit and then rotate this, and that will allow me to rotate it in the right angle. You see? Cool. Okay. Okay, so we got that, and no, that's not good. You can see that the bottom part is curved, so I'm going to go Control Z, okay, until I'm back. I'm going to hit 4 so I can see it a bit better. Now, where is my bend handle at? Okay, it's going up and down, that's not good. So Control Z, we're going to go to the bend handle, we're going to rotate that by 90. Why is this guy up here? Okay. Okay, we're going to try that again. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now I'll hit 5 for shaded mode. Not there. There. 5 for shaded mode. And as you can see, we got some curvature. Now we can make it a bit thinner, so hit R, push that back in. And let's see if we can fit that in, okay? So we're going to push that back, switch fuse. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of scaling to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that, we need to delete the history of this object, because as you can see, when I move this around, it's changing shape, which is not good. So, object selected, edit, delete by type, history. Now that's gone, and now I can move it around, okay? We're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that in quite a bit. Let's see where we're at. Hit W, and let's check it from our different angles here. Let's look at the original. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so how does this look? Not too bad. All right. Okay. So now we need a couple of these verticals here. They're nice and thin, and they're a little bit at an angle, but we'll fix that. Okay. So again, cube, pull that up. We're going to bevel the edges. So right click, edge, drag, select that. Go back to polygons, edit mesh and bevel. Just zoom in a bit. We're going to make that nice and round. Something like so. Okay. We're going to hit object mode, R to scale it in quite a bit. Something like that. And now let's see if we can get that into position. So we're going to switch fuse, hit W, We're going to move that over and move that in. As you can see, we need to shorten it a bit. So it's just inside. Okay. And we need to keep some spacing. So one there. Control D to duplicate. One there. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. And that's not bad. Okay. So now we need to move them in position. So we're going to push that back. And let's see if we have to tweak the size or not. Now that, back a little. As you can see, we got the horizontal one there. And we've got them up there. So this should be okay. Okay, not too bad. All right. So now what? Now we need to have these two here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of those, hit Control D, push it out, hit R to scale it down quite a bit. And we'll just switch views here so we can see it a bit better. Now, I still want roughly the same thickness, but I want to push it down a bit. So we're going to hit W, we're going to push that down like that, and something like that. And let's see if that looks about right for a chair. Something like that, okay. Now we need another one over here, obviously. So what I'm going to do is hit Control D, and we're going to move that over. And as soon as we have these in, we can see if it's aligned correctly. But for now, it looks okay. Let's see if these look okay at all. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so what else do we got? Okay, so we got these, right? And we need a few. First of all, this is pretty straightforward. And we got one in the here all the way around pretty much. It's hard to see in this example, but yeah, we'll work it out. Okay. So we're just going to take a round cylinder. We're going to pull that up, give it some subdivision, let's say 40. We're going to hit E. E. We're going to flip it over. Check for 90 degrees. There we go. We're going to hit R to scale it in and stretch it out a bit. Okay, so we need those for the seat. Okay, so I'm going to hit W. I'm going to pull that in. Hit F to zoom in. It's always tricky to do it at this angle. We'll try it here. Okay, so we're going to pull that down. Hit F. We need to hit R to stretch it out a bit. Push it back a little bit more. Stretch it out a bit. Okay, so that's inside the chair. That's good. Now from this angle, check it from my top view. Yeah, that looks about right. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. We're going to move it over here. And like I said, now you can see that this one needs to move in just a little bit. So what do we got so far? Those probably need to move up, but we'll do that in a sec, okay? I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate that, pull it out, E to rotate it, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. We're going to hit W and we're going to push that back. And let's position that from our top, because it seems to be sticking out a bit. So we're gonna pull that down, and we're gonna hit R, and we're gonna scale that in just a little, and we're gonna hit Control D, hit W, and move one over there. F to zoom in, and just hit R to scale it out just a little. Let's check this. Are we still okay? Looks like it. Okay. Now we got a couple down here, 2 in the front, 2 here, and 1 on the back, and they're a little bit more ornate. So, oh, we got our arm layers as well. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I need to cheat a little bit. I need to stretch that up. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to stretch that up, 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 up. Check from this view here. As you can see, that's a little bit too high. So pull it down a bit. That looks about right. Okay, we're still good. Okay, so now what? Yeah, before we do these, I'm going to do these arm layers first. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a cube, pull it out in the grid, like that. Okay, we're going to go to our top view, hit F to zoom in, and I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, and we're going to do one about here, and then we're going to work our way back like that. Okay, hit Q, right click, go to vertex. We're going to drag select these. We're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that in. Drag select those, scale that in. Drag select those, scale that in, and so forth until about that point. Okay, now we need to drag select these, hit W, and we need to align these here. So it's a bit tricky, but we'll get there. Let's see if that's straight. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. So now we got that. What we're going to do is we're going to bevel those edges. So right click, object mode, right click edge, drag select that, edit mesh and bevel. Maybe give it a bit more softness like that. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, so we got that one. Now we're going to get that in place. So we're going to switch to our top view, right click, object mode. As you can see, we need to scale that down a bit. Hit W, move it over. Hit F to zoom in. Move it over some more. We need to stretch it a bit. So let's try this. A bit more. Oop, that's too much. Hit W to push it out a little bit. It's allowed to stick out just a little. Something like that. And from this point of view, that looks okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we got that. All right. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. Move it over here. Hit E to flip it over, like that, by -180. And we're going to go back to our top view, and we're going to hit W and move that one in position. And that should be about it. Let's see. Okay, we got that so far. Now we got these little thingies in the middle here that I talked about. Okay, so for that we're going to select another cylinder, drag that out, pull that up, hit E to pull it over 90 degrees. We're going to increase the subdivisions to 40 so it's nice and smooth, and we're going to add some divisions to it like that. Okay, so we can do a little bit of tweaking to make it look nice. Let's see what view. We'll do this view here, hit F to zoom in, W just to move it out of the way. Okay, so right click, vertex. I'm going to select these two and shift select these two and hit R, and I'm going to scale them in and pull them out. Something like that. I'm going to take that one and that one, scale them in and push them out. Okay, I'm going to take these three and scale them in. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to shift select 1, 2, these three. And we're going to scale those in and push them out again, like that. I'm going to drag select my entire object, shift right click, hang on, object mode first, shift right click and smooth. Let's see how that's looking. Not too bad. Okay. Okay, now we need to get it in place, right size, etc., etc. So, top view, we're going to hit W, we're going to move that into position. And as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit tricky to see that correctly, but we're still good. Okay. Now, as you can see, we need to scale it down quite a bit. So hit R, down, 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 something like that. Stretch out. Okay, something like that. Let's see if we're in the middle. So I'm going to check it from this view, hit 4. Okay, hit W and move it in the middle like that. Okay, so we got that one. Let's check our height. What's our reference? It's that one. Okay, push that down a bit and hit Control D and push that down a bit more. And we're going to shift select these two, hit Control D, and we're going to move that over. Check our front view to make sure we're in the middle, hit F to zoom in, and like that. Okay. Now, we need that in the front and in the back as well. So I'm going to select these two, hit Control D and hit E to rotate, like that. Make sure we're at -90. And we're going to move them into the back. Hit F to zoom in, just a little. W to move them like that. It looks crooked for some reason. Oh, it's exactly 90. Interesting. Why does that look crooked? It is crooked. Ah, hang on. -90. There we go. Okay, get them both in position. And we're gonna zoom in. That looks about right. We're going to check it from this view. That looks okay. And we're going to hit Control D, and we're going to move them over here and do the same. So, does that look like it's in the middle? Push it back just a little bit. Yeah, looks good. Okay. So now we've got that. Now, for these sections down here, the rocking bits, so to speak, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to grab yet another cube. We're going to pull that out, pull that up like that, and we are going to add some subdivisions to that. Not too much. Let's say 4 here. Quite a few here. Let's say 30. And for height, yeah, we'll do a few. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Let's see, what's my best angle for that? Yeah, we'll take this. Okay. I'm going to select my object, get it away from the chair, hit F to zoom in. Okay, now we're going to curve it in a later stage. For now, we're going to right click, go to vertex, and we're going to start to pull down the shape. I'm just thinking if there's an easier way to do this. No, this is good. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm not happy with this. Just going to get rid of that. I'm going to do that in a different way. Or a slightly different way. I'm going to drag a new cube, pull that up. I'm going to give it some subdivisions, but not so much. I'm going to leave that at 1. Make that 4. And yeah, that's better. We'll give that another try. Okay, so hit W, move that guy out. Right click, go to vertex. That will probably work much better. And it won't take forever either. And you get the idea. We're just tapering it a little bit. Something like that. Now, before we do anything else, I'm just going to select my object, rotate it. I want to have it roughly in position so I know whether I need to stretch it out at a later point or not, and so forth. So 180. I'm going to hit W. I'm going to pull that in, pull that down. Let's see. So that would be something like that. Okay, so this looks pretty good. This is not too bad. Okay, so now that I know that, I can take it back out. Right click, go to edge, drag select everything, edit mesh and bevel. Actually, before I do that, Control Z, we're going to do a little bit of decoration. Face. I'm just going to take those. We're going to hit W. And we're going to pull that in like that. And we're going to do the same at this end. Okay. Okay, got that. Right click, edge. Got the top edge. I'm just selecting the outer edges. Not that one. Edit mesh and bevel. Pull that up, way up, like that. Okay. And let's see if smoothing it will help. For some reason, that's still there, but this is not so much. So I'll just have to redo that phase. Sometimes you just have to figure it out as you move along. So hit W, pull it in a little. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to bend it. Still not sure if this part isn't too large. So what I'm going to do is right click, go to vertex, drag, select these bits, hit B, and hit R. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we can bend it. So right click, object mode, select our object, go to animation, go to create deformers, nonlinear, and bend. So we got that situation again. We're going to rotate the handle by 90 degrees, minus 90. And let's see what our bend handle will allow us to do. Okay, now I just want a little curve here. That's maybe a bit much. Yeah, well, maybe something like that. Okay, that's not too bad. Drag select it, just that. Edit, delete by type history. Rotate it back, so it's at 90. 90. There we go. And let's see if we can get that into place. It still looks a bit clunky for some reason. Maybe we can hit R, make it a bit thinner. Yeah, that's better. And even push it up just a little. And that looks much better. Okay. So now we're going to get them into position. So we're going to move that over. Check if we're in the middle. And it seems that we are, as you can see. That is not fitting, so I'm going to stretch that out just a little. And we need to move it down like that. And we need to look at our example to see, okay, as you can see, it's sticking out a lot. So we need to push that back, hit E to tilt it a little bit. Just check it from this view here. Okay, so I want to push that down, hit E. Yeah, that's about the maximum that I can get out of it. Okay, how's that looking? Not too bad. Hit Control D, W, move that over. F to zoom in. Let's see if it's in the middle. Yep, looks like it, almost. That's better. Okay, so we got that part, and we're going to tilt it in a second. So what's left is making the seat for the chair, as you can see. So for that, we're going to create some cubes. Just pull that out, pull it up just a little bit like that. Okay, we're going to go to our top view, hit F to zoom in. We're going to go to, let me think, polygons, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool to about there. Still got my soft selection on. Okay. I'm going to hit Q, right click on my object, go to object mode, hit F to zoom in. Okay. Now I want that part here to tilt a little bit, so drag select that end, hit E, something like that. Okay, and now we're gonna duplicate that a couple of times. I'll hit 5 for shaded mode. So we got that. Control, come on, object mode. Control D, hit W to move that out. I'll hit F to zoom in. Just a little. And I want this to rotate just a little as well, but really not a lot. So let's go with 1. That looks about right. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to delete that, select that, Control D, move it over just a little, hit E and rotate that by 1 degree. Hit Control D again. Maybe that is a bit much, but we'll see. Control D. Yeah, it's a bit too much. Okay, what we're going to do is now I see the problem. There we go. Okay. Control D. Move it over just a bit. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. I just want to see how much we need. Drag select everything. Go to Mesh and Combine. I want to see how much I need for my chair seat. So we're going to hit W. Modify center pivot. We're going to hit W. We're going to move that over. We're going to move that in. We're going to hit F. We're going to hit R to scale that out quite a bit. And as you can see, it's not too bad. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if we need to bend anything or not. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna hit W. We're gonna move that out. We're gonna go to animation, create deformers, nonlinear, and bend. Let's see how we're set up right now. That's not good. We need to flip it over. So get our handle, flip it over like that by -90. And let's give that another try. Yeah, we just need a very, very slight bend, something like that. Okay, so drag select it, edit, delete by type, history. Select that. We're going to move it into position. Let's see where we're at from the various angles. From this angle. Okay. Okay, so we're going to hit R. We're going to scale that out just a little. We're going to hit W. We're going to move it a bit forward. Scale it back just a bit. Something like that. Hit E to rotate it just a little. W to push it down. Let's see what we got. Now the question is, do we need one more slot left or right? But I don't think so. Okay. Okay, so what I can do is drag select my entire chair. Unselect this. Go to polygons, mesh, combine. Hit R. Come on, object mode. Hit R. I'm just gonna push that in just a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. Let's see if we're still in the middle here. Probably not. Okay. So that looks better. Okay, now as far as proportions are, I want to, I think it's a bit high, or not. It's not too bad. Okay, we're going to drag select our entire object. We're going to go up to polygons, mesh, combine. We're going to hit W. We're going to pull that up. I'm going to get rid of my reference image here. We're going to create a ground plane. Drag select that. And we're going to take our chair and we're going to move it into position. So push that down, pull that out, and we need to move that into a position that is suitable for a rocking chair, which would be something like that, and set it down on the grid. Okay, so now we got that. Okay, we're going to apply some material to it. Now, I'm not going to go and create UVs for everything. That's going to take forever, right? So I'm just going to slap on a texture. I know that's not how you should do it, but you know, that's just the way it is. Okay, so assign new material. I'm going to go with a Lambert. I'm going to click on the checkered box here. I'm going to select File. And I got a file that, let me think, desktop, what did I call that thing? Rocking chair. I got a rosewood texture file. Okay, so let's hit this checkered ball here, something like that. Okay. We're going to set up some lighting. So create lights, point light. I'm going to pull that up, pull that out, hit Control D to duplicate that, push it over. Just check from my top view to see if my lights are okay. As you can see, they are not. Something like that. Just going to move my chair a little bit over here. Like that. Okay. I want one of the lights to be a bit lower, so I'll take that one, push it down a bit, and while I select my two lights, I'm going to go to my point light shape tab and select use depth map shadows. And what I always like to do, and you guys don't have to, is to throw in some additional lighting by use of an HDRI file. Okay, so we're just going to select an angle that we believe is okay for the chair, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to bookmark this. So view, bookmark, edit bookmark, and I'm going to call this chair. Apply and close, and I'm going to go to my render settings, switch to mental ray, indirect lighting, image based lighting. I'm going to go for a file that I have, which is a street scene. Now, I'm not too interested in the street scene itself. I'm more into the light pattern that will be created by it. So I'm just going to select this edge here and hit Edit Mesh and Extrude and pull that up. So I'm blocking out that scene. And I'm going to do the same here. I don't want to block it too much, otherwise I'm not going to get my lighting. Okay, so this is our chair, something like that. I'm going to go to my render settings. In my quality tab, I'm going to bump that up to about 1.3, something like that, 1.3. And I want to, in my common tab, change the scene to HD 1080. Let's see, what else? Go back a sec. Indirect lighting, I'm going to select final global illumination and final gathering. Okay. Now I'm going to hit render. I'm going to pause the video while I do that, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Hi guys, I just stopped the render. I just want to do some tweaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, object mode. I'm going to select my ground plane. I'm going to give some reflective material to that. So right click, assign new material. I'm going to go with a Fong E. And I'm going to make that white, like that. And for the chair, there's no reflection going on in the chair. So I'm going to select the chair. I'm going to right click, assign new material. I'm going to go with the Fong E material to give it a bit more reflection. And then in the checker tab, I'm going to add the file and go to the file that I got for this, which was the rosewood. And I'm going to render again. Be back in a sec. Well, there you go, guys. This is the final render for the rocking chair. As you can see, got a bit more reflection going on here, which I think looks nice. It pops a bit. I realized that this tutorial was really fast, but the challenge is to model and texture a complete object in a short time. So this is definitely not for absolute beginners, but hopefully it's useful anyway. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. And if you like this, please subscribe. Thanks again, guys. Bye.